Hi y'all, welcome back to another makeup video. Today we are doing a matte brown fall smoky eye, but we are doing a halo eye that is all matte. I'm probably not very original. I've just really been into the halo eyes recently, and I also wanted to do an all matte eyeshadow look for fall, so I thought I would combine the two. I'm not going to focus too much on the skin, but I will list everything that I used down below. It's just because it is basically all the same stuff that I use all the time. So for at least like the base, the primer, foundation, I'm not going to focus too heavily on that. So I'm just going to speed through and list all of the products that I use down below. But I am using the Natasha Denona Face Glam palette in the lighter shade for this look because it just has these beautiful coffee mocha gorgeous eyeshadows in it and a really pretty blush for fall. So I'm going to be using that today for the cheeks and for the eyes. So let's hop right in. After I do my base and my bronzer, I'm going to use that cream blush in the Natasha Denona palette to blush up the cheeks. This blush is just one of those perfect fall blushes. It's a little bit more berry, it's a little bit deeper, but it's not too cool toned. So if you're like me and you have more of a neutral golden undertone, it's not going to look like a bruise on the face, which is really nice if you want to have a fall blush that actually kind of complements your skin tone, if that makes sense. So then I'm going to use the Wet n Wild loose powder to set and bake the under eye and start working on the eyes with this eyeshadow look. So for the Natasha Denona palette, the colors are just named like transition, crease, and outer corner. So that is kind of confusing, but we'll just work with it. Basically taking the lightest brown called transition, and I'm just fluffing this all over the lid, the crease, all over the place, and then taking the next deepest shadow called the crease, and I'm going to start working that on the inner corner and outer corner. We're starting to build that halo eye shape. So I'm just with kind of a small rounded brush that I can still kind of blend with, but is small enough to get into that inner corner area. I'm just going to start building up that halo eye. So just placing color in the outer and inner corner and then just swooping it across the crease and connecting those two spots. And then just going back with the first color and making sure that it's blended out. And as you can see, I am kind of going back and forth with both of those colors and those two different brushes and making sure that the depth is there, that it's getting nice and dark. But I just like to slowly build that up so that we get a nice transition and a smooth blend, but also get it deep enough. Then I'm going to take the darkest brown in this palette on a very small detail brush and start packing that on just the outer corner and just this inner corner. And I'm using like a really small flat eyeshadow brush here, and I'm almost cutting the inner corner right there because I want that to be a nice sharp line. I do not want that dark brown like going into my inner corner at all, like the inner corner of my eye socket, because otherwise I will look like I have a black eye or something. So then of course taking the second deepest shade on that small rounded brush, and I'm not going to take this shade into the crease really at all. I'm just going to blend it right where it's at and make sure it blends into that second shade just like that. And as you can kind of see there when I'm looking forward, how I leave that very inner corner like piece by my nose, I leave it blank with none of that dark shadow on it. And then I took that very first transition shade, the lightest brown, and just kind of ran that over the lid to make sure that that is bright right there in the middle and really still has that halo eye effect. And then just taking a liner brush and giving myself a really thin smudgy liner with the darkest brown. I'm just going to do that to make sure my lash line is still defined and my lashes look full. But again, when I look straight at the camera and down, you can still see that clear halo eye effect. The middle of the eye still looks the brightest. And this is kind of the area I'm talking about. I want that to be nice and bright. So once I dust away the bake and I'm setting my face, I'm using a really brightening powder right there in the inner corner just to make sure that it looks purposeful and not like I just have a black eye or I got a little bit crazy with the eyeshadow. I want that to be nice and bright under there. And then I'm going to show you guys the rest of the face powder steps. I know I'm using this discontinued blush and bronzer from Jaclyn Hill, but it's so good. I'm sure that you have a bronzer that you love and a pink blush that you love in your collection, so just use whatever you have. You also can just use whatever brown eyeshadows that you have already and create this look. It is really universal. It'll also look really good on every eye shape, every eye color, because we're just using those perfect coffee, latte, chocolatey browns. It just is the most flattering colors. Not too warm, not too cool, just right in the middle. So beautiful on every eye color, every skin tone. So I basically just set all of my cream steps with powder as well. So I'm just giving myself a little bit of bronzer, and I'm going to highlight with the powder highlight that is in the Natasha Denona Face Glam palette. It's absolutely gorgeous. And then I'm also just going to take a little bit of this pink blush and punch up that blush a little bit. The Natasha Denona gives a little bit more depth to the back of the cheekbones because I kind of put this light pink Jaclyn Hill one like everywhere under the eye because I love that pink under eye. But also just to make this even more fall, the Naked Brown blush from Wet n Wild is the absolute perfect fall blush of all time. It is like that perfect right between a blush and a bronzer. It's so pretty. It's so fall. Naked Brown is literally the perfect color for it. It gives this beautiful depth and warmth and fall goodness to the skin. This is kind of like that latte makeup, but just amped up, even cooler in my opinion, or just maybe a little bit more universal. It's just all of these coffee brownie colors coming together creates the perfect fall look. So then I just take the transition shade and smoke out the lower lash line. And of course, I'm going to do a nice brownish nude lip. I'm using a brown lip liner from e.l.f. and then using the Seriously Satin lipstick, also from e.l.f. in the shade Cream. And then just to make it a little bit more monochromatic and bring more of the browns out in this, I'm using a lip oil from Wet n Wild called Cocoa Rose, and it's just this gorgeous brown lip oil, but it kind of looks like a lip gloss, and like you can just see it here. It just gives that perfect brown glossy gorgeousness to the lips. This ends up being a really nice, pretty monochromatic look, especially the lips and cheeks. And then you just have those gorgeous matte browns on the eyes. This is how everything looks in natural lighting, just sunlight by a window, no filters. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you want to see anything else, any other videos from me, definitely let me know in the comments down below. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you in another video very soon. Bye.